Hey, what's up, guys? We are back with an all new edition of Off the Pulse. I'm your interesting but sometimes boring host, Dwayne Johnson. But we have a totally new segment we're doing right now at this moment. This is Off the Pulse Up North edition. I have with me someone that is a big Canada Women's National Team fan.
Yep.
She's gonna be sharing a lot of stuff with us. If you would want to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about like when you got into the game, your favorite players. That'd be nice.
Okay, so I started watching the Canada during the Olympics 2012 with their bronze medal win. Um, Obviously, one of my favorite players is Christine Sinclair and Melissa Tancredi. I know that's a little bad considering the stomp, I should say.
That's the dreaded stomp. Oh, we all remember that. Yeah, yeah.
Bring that up. But I'm not one of those ignorant Canadian fans that don't hate Sydney Leroux. I don't hate her. And you know, I am an AC Milan fan, and one of my other favorite players is El Shaarawy.
The Pharaoh. Good choice. Good choice. All right, cool. Nice, nice. All right, well, let's get started on a couple of these topics that you want to go over. And just so you know, guys, we'll probably be doing shows whenever the schedule sees fit around the Canada show. So some of you Canada fans, if you want to tune in, hopefully it's around your schedule. If not, we're just recording it early now. Naturally, it's very early. I just got up, but I said, hey, we might as well record it. We'll send it out to you guys, and you guys can give your comments and stuff on the second section below. All right, let's get started. Let's see. So one of the first things we're going to talk about is Canada's growth within the last year. Seems like Canada's been playing a lot of youth players, something I wish America would have probably did a little bit more last year. But Canada seems to be really doing a youth movement. Well, how do you feel about Canada's growth over the last year?
Well, I'm gonna base it off the Cyprus Cup. We really didn't have a good Cyprus Cup one. We didn't even get to the finals, and we did play young players. But within the last year, the players have really stepped up, like Buchanan, Fleming, I'd say Quinn, Leon, too. They're gelling into the team.
Now, Jesse Fleming, I thought that was a great call up for you guys. And like you said, Kadisha Buchanan, Ashley Lawrence, and Suri, is it Yakaka, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like that's a great thing, I think, if you can inject that youth in while still keeping your core veteran players, because you slowly bring them in. You gave them a lot of experience, because you knew it's not like you really, last year I just felt like would have been a great year for a lot of national teams, or even the year before, to start playing a lot of youth players, because when you do that, you really got to develop your team in the long run, and it'd help for a World Cup year, because you don't know what type of injuries might come up before the World Cup or leading up to it. So you really, I felt like, wanted to develop your youth players. Uh, Last year, you guys also played a lot of tough games, it looked like. So I felt like you guys got a lot of good experience. You played Japan twice, played Germany once, played USA twice, and actually got a draw in the one game. And then you beat Sweden. How do you feel about those games you played? Was that a good test to see where you guys stood, or was it you felt like it was a good experience overall?
Yeah, it was obviously, I think it was a test to see how well Canada can perform against the top teams in the world. And I do think we can, if we do play good, everyone's in sync, like Sinclair scoring, um, the midfield's compact and creating chances, and Canada finishing chances. I think we can beat Germany, Japan, and USA on a good day.
Yeah, like I said, it's like I really felt like with you guys that just the opportunity to play those teams. Even if you lost, you got to see where you stood, and it felt like I feel like you guys are going to make a real strong push in the World Cup. Like you could really, I think you guys can go really far, to be honest. Especially, and I think last year the playing of youth and playing those tough teams helped. One thing I know some of us U.S. Women National Team fans had a beef with sometimes was some of the competition we played against, because we felt like we were playing cupcakes. It really didn't push us, and or just playing in CONCACAF, which isn't like, it's not like our choice that we have to, that we can't play in CONCACAF. We just don't have the competition that we're really gonna see against the rest of the world. So sometimes you could see that we play against those teams, then we finally do play against a big team, kind of like threw us back because they were pressing more and things of that nature. Cyprus Cup run, though, do you feel like it was a promising run, or any cause for concerns because some of your games are so close?
Well, yeah, I think Canada needs to score more just to secure the win, because 1-0 wins just don't seem good enough for me. But Canada's been on a good run since Japan, since they went to China. Or wow, I mean they've been on a good run since they've been to China. They've won every single game except for the last one in England. But with the Cyprus Cup, I mean we've only conceded 1 goal in 5 games, and I'm pretty glad that happened because that shows how our back line was mixed with youth and veterans and how they're gelling together and staying strong.
Yeah, your back line, I think, must have done a really good job in all those games. I didn't get to see the Cyprus Cup. Naturally, I was paying attention more to Algarve, and it was just seeing that you guys only conceded 1 goal, and that was the only game you lost to Leanne Sanderson. And it was just like, I was guessing you guys must have had defense must have just been playing really well in all those games. So that's pretty good to see that you guys actually had a nice run in that. And the only game you did lose was the final, even though that sucks. But still, it was a good test for you guys. With so the overall performance you feel was pretty good. What players do you feel stepped up in the Cyprus Cup, or even over the last year have stepped up overall?
Well, in the last year, I would say Sophie Schmidt has, Jessie Fleming, Erin McLeod has made phenomenal saves within the last year. Definitely saved Canada. Buchanan and I guess Sinclair is starting to step up this year. The last 2 years haven't really been great for her on the national team.
And let's see, with youth players, which youth players do you feel are going to make a big impact, or got to make an impact last year with the Canada women's national team?
Last year, Jessie Fleming and Buchanan made it.
Mainly, yeah. Okay. How do you feel about Adriana Leon and Tiffany Cameron? Because Adriana Leon, it seems like she only scored 1 goal for Chicago, but I feel like right now they're trying to make her more of an impact in your guys' squad.
I think she could be a great striker like Sinclair. Maybe not as great, but I think she can start scoring goals. It's just, I think Canada's midfield needs to provide more, and they need to finish better.
Definitely. It's an issue I feel like we have sometimes with just the strikers not getting getting enough service. Let's see. Also, there was another standout for you guys. I don't know how big of a name she is for you guys. I just read up on her. Nichelle Prince. They say she was a standout from last fall's U17's World Cup. And Hederman called her up and called her an unbelievable athlete with the ability to run at players. So that's another good thing. It seems like he keeps finding these young players to call up from your system and just to make a big impact. And Cristobal Orduro, another young player. I'll put the link in the section for you guys so you can check it out. And as for finally, with your World Cup run, who do you feel is going to be a key player in your World Cup run? And what young player do you feel will make the biggest impact in your World Cup run?
I think the youngest player that will make a great impact would be Jessie Fleming in the midfield. If Diana Matheson does not make it to the World Cup, which I think she does. And
yeah. We'll continue.
I think hopefully Christine and Melissa can gel together again like they did in the Olympics and score goals between them, because that was probably one of the best duos I've seen Canada has. And again, Buchanan and McLeod will have a great impact on the national team this year.
Now, how do you feel about Sinclair? Because I don't know if you've been following how us USA fans have been. Some of us have been pretty rough on Abby. How do you feel about Sinclair's impact? Even though she's way younger, actually, or like 4 or 3 years younger. How do you feel her impact will be on your team right now going into the World Cup?
Well, I guess I'm going to compare it to, since Abby's the leader of the USA, as they say, since she's a captain, if Rampone's not there. I personally think Sinclair is a better leader than Wambach in many ways. Specifically, she doesn't dive. Doesn't complain. I mean, if Sinclair wasn't named as captain, I wouldn't think she'd go running to whoever the captain was asking for the armband like Wambach did. I thought that was pretty absurd.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. I think a lot of our fans had some beef with that. How they say she almost felt like she had to have it to make make a point or something. Also, how do you feel about how big of an impact do you think Tancredi will make this year?
Tancredi, I think she would make a great impact. I mean, she just came back to the national team in like July, and from the games I've seen, she's had obviously a great impact on the team because the team was just missing that physical aspect up front.
Nice, nice. Let's see. I wonder. Let me check and see if we have any questions right now, because we always have a few questions. You can tweet those to Woso Talk people. Any questions you have, hashtags. Let's see. I will check for you. It is good to actually have a Canada fan on here, to be honest, though, because like I say, you're really giving us an insight, and we're definitely going to have you more on the show for other Canada segments, if anything. Let's see. Okay, this is one. They said, since you feel Sinclair is a better leader overall, who do you actually think will have a better season in NWSL when they return, Abby Wambach or Christy Sinclair?
Well, with the NWSL, I mean, like Sinclair does play striker, but I mean, like she kind of falls back to the midfield because I believe she doesn't think her midfield can provide her or anything with goal scoring opportunities. But it's a greater impact. I'm going to have to say Sinclair. Abby, to me, just complains way too much as of late. It doesn't seem as great good leader for the USA or the Spirit.
All right, here's another question. What are your feelings about Sydney Leroux?
Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's her father that's American. So she has dual citizenship. If she wants to go to the USA, she does, and she chose that. I don't really see why the Canadian fans have to be so upset about that if she's half American.
So it's not that big of an impact to you. It's like, hey, it's your choice. You can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah, I don't really just don't care. I mean, if she wants to play for Canada, that's fine with me. But if she doesn't, that's okay. We can find someone else to place her. Like, we have talent now.
Exactly. All right. Well, those are all the really questions that we had, or for the most part. And I don't know. I think that went really well this segment. If you guys like the Canada Women's National Team segment, we're going to have her on actually more during the World Cup and NWSL. So you'll get to see more. But this is really an introduction to this part of the show. She'll really run it, ask more questions, bring on more Canada fans if she wants to. How did you feel it went?
Pardon?
How do you feel this went? Did you enjoy yourself? Huh?
Yeah.
Like being part of the Off the Post cast or whatever? Got your own little special little show and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We appreciate it. Send your questions in the comments section below or tweet them out to Woso Talk on Twitter. We got a Tumblr page now. We actually have a Facebook page. We're doing big things because we're big people. That's right. All right, then. We will talk to you later and see you soon from Off the Post Up North edition. It's real cold right now. I'm about to go take a shower and heat up. Take care, guys.